Hey everybody, this is Landon from CUPA. My wife is over here. Her name is Madeline. Madeline, say hi.
Hello!
We are CUPA Coffee Roasting in Orlando, Florida. We are doing episode 1 of the podcast live from our apartment. Madeline, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell the audience about yourself.
Oh goodness, I feel like I'm being interviewed for a job. Let me see, a little bit about myself. Well, if you don't know this, Landon and I are high school sweethearts. We're from a small town in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
I moved here to Orlando because I wanted to attend UCF. We did long distance for 2.5 years before Landon joined me down here. I'm a double UCF grad. I work for the university now. I'm very proud to be a part of the university. Outside of that, if you don't know, we have 3 lovely kitties, Maple, Daisy, and Oatmeal. Outside of that, me personally, I like to play video games and cook and bake and read.
I like bacon too, but a different kind of way. Real quick, do you like coffee?
No.
Do you drink coffee?
No.
Have you ever tried coffee?
Yes.
And?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't even like the frappuccinos with coffee from Starbucks.
You get the frappuccinos without the coffee.
Yes.
So that's how I know you really don't like coffee.
I like how it smells.
Okay, I'm glad you like how it smells. About myself, if you guys don't know who I am, I have been in coffee for a long time. Not longer than most, but longer than some. I've been in coffee since I was about 18 years old. I'm originally from Michigan, which is, like Madeline said, we're from the same original hometown, but we did college in 2 different states. I started coffee when I was 18 over in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and then I branched out to coffee down in Orlando, Florida when I moved down here at a more professional level. I've been a barista for like 7. Yeah, I'm 26, so that's 8 years. That's 8 years. Yeah, so I've been a barista for about 8 years, and then I've been a coffee roaster for about 3.5 years, coming up on 4. And I've been a coffee consultant for about 5 years. So been around the block, as the kids say, but I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything. So I'm always looking to learn more and be a part of the community wherever I am, and just build with people. So. We got some questions from Instagram. Let's just hop right into these because we got quite a few. I'm going to ask you the question first, Madeline, and you can answer them, and then as short as you want to, if it applies to you. If not, we'll just move on to the next one.
Oh, with my vast coffee knowledge.
With your vast coffee knowledge. Some of these shops, some of the questions are related to coffee shops, and you can answer some of those, and some of the questions are related to like more coffee related things.
I cannot answer those.
You cannot answer. So, first one comes from Golden Coffee Company. Shout out. We got, why coffee? What is your motivation? What changes do you see coming in the coffee world? Personally, for myself, I got into coffee because I was just curious, right? Like, it starts off with curiosity and kind of grows from there when you start learning more and more about things, and the more you start learning about things, the more deeper into the hole you start going. And I don't know, it always fascinated me. Like when I was a young man, I always thought that coffee was interesting, but I never knew how deep the rabbit hole actually went. So I decided to work in coffee for a little bit and see how it was. And the first place that I ever worked is called Water Street Coffee in Michigan. If you guys are in Florida or Orlando or I guess anywhere in the country right now, that it's similar to Foxtail. It's got the same kind of like vibe when you go inside. They got the specialty drinks, the over the top things, or the cute little flannels and the aprons, and they do the whole spiel and blah blah blah. But when I was working in Water Street, they would not let me touch the espresso machine for about 3-4 months before I took exams and like practical exams.
They called you a pea-berry.
They called me a pea-berry. Working behind the bar at Water Street, serving coffee, making drip, putting food in a turbo chef, and the more that was kind of gatekept, the more that I really wanted to go out and do that kind of stuff and see what the world had to offer with coffee. And they used to do this thing called Roastmaster Hour at Water Street, where the guy Seth, who was the roaster for the company, he was a biochemical engineer originally, and then he traded his career over to working in the coffee at Water Street, he would do this thing once a month where he would invite all the staff out from Water Street, and you guys would just hang out in the roastery and just kind of like learn about roasting and like how coffee processing and stuff worked. And I think it was the second or third time I went to Roastmaster Hour, because this is all voluntary. Like you didn't get paid to go, you just got offered to go and kind of hang out and learn if you wanted to. And I remember like me and a handful of other people, including my boss, Carly, who, if you're listening, Carly, thank you for telling me to be better all the time. And Trevor went, and I remember my third or second time I went out there, I passed out because it was in the middle of the summer in a warehouse with no AC next to a roaster that's roughly around 450 degrees, and I passed out. And when I woke up on the floor and staring up at everybody, and they're starting looking at me and like, are you sure this is what you want to do with your life, dude? You want to work in coffee? Like, you want to roast coffee? And I'm like, yep. Yeah, I mean, long story short, like, what was my motivation? I was doing bad things, and I wanted a way to kind of not do bad things, and I was kind of channeling my energy and time and effort into caring about coffee. Hooligan, yeah. And the last part of this question was, what changes do you see coming in the coffee world? I see a lot. Ultimately, I think the C price raising is going to change a lot of things going on. Right now, it's beyond comprehension for a lot of people that are like me, that are small business owners, and we're trying to buy coffees in small quantities or large quantities. If you don't already have these coffees contracted out, then it's going to be really difficult for you to get these coffees at a good price in the near future, because they're all becoming very, very expensive. I think ultimately, long story short, there's going to be a lot of changes with pricing. A lot of people are going to go out of business because of it. And on the second hand, I think there's going to be a large concern about climate change coming with coffee. Because look at Guatemala and Brazil. A couple of years ago, Brazil lost about 40% of their crop to frost. And same with Guatemala, like they're losing crop like left and right just because they can't keep up with climate change. Long story short, this is another episode. Another question that we got from Golden Coffee Company, he's asked me two more. He said, are the SCA certifications worth it? Not to me. I did not think that when I took my SCA certifications, I thought they were very important. Well, at the time, I thought they were very important, but when I took the classes, and I paid a god-awful amount of money for these SCA certified classes through, third-party people. I went all over the state of Florida. I've taken some, out of the state, so it's really difficult for me to say that it's worth paying $1,500 to $2,000 for a class that's 3 days, about 4 or 5 hours each. Where I didn't feel like I really learned a lot that I didn't learn from doing in person, or reading about online for free material, or reading other people's experiences, or I don't know. Long story short, wherever you find value, if you think that amount of money is going to get you to a place where you want to be in coffee, I think that's great. If not, I think you can just work in coffee and really understand where you're at and all these terms and how to run payroll or how to do, inventory management or like processing on coffee. I think there's a lot of resources out there that are going to kind of help you guys. SCA is the Specialty Coffee Association of America, and ultimately SCA is the biggest name and authority for coffee in the entire, I want to say, arguably world. They do like conventions every year. They do, they're behind like a lot of the quality control that goes into coffee and like the grading system. The last question that Carlos from Golden Coffee Company is asking us is, do you plan on visiting Origin? And that's actually a really good question. I've been told many times that I need to go to Origin. As long as I've been in coffee, I've never actually been to Origin. I would really love to go and witness and work on the farm with the producers and like the assistants they have, and all the workers on the farm that are picking the cherries, processing the coffees, and ultimately making it what it is and letting me have a living over here in America. I think it's a really cool thing, and I've never had a good feasible opportunity to go do it. And it's kind of like having a kid. Like, there's not really a good time to do it, but you kind of just got to make time and make it work. So it would be a big life changer for me to go. So if you guys are listening and you guys want to take me on an Origin trip, I would love to pay you to go on an Origin trip. So you keep me in the loop. Our good friend Dylan is asking us CUPA approved coffee shops in Orlando. Madeline, what are your 3 favorite?
I feel like my qualities that I look for in a cafe are different from you. I love ample seating options that are close to an outlet. So I can get work done while having a little drinky poo. I also am a vibes person, I feel like some of the best vibes in town, and their products are very good, is Han. I like Han a lot. I think it's very beautiful. Their drinks are good. Whatever that cream cheese garlic bread they have is to die for. So that would be high up there. Small plug, RIP Downtown Credo. You were my place to go. Always could find a seat there.
Yeah, girl likes chai. She likes the chai.
Also
lattes.
the best chai in town. Oh, outside of Starbucks. Wow.
Yeah, one more. Make it worth it.
Technically only named one.
No, you named Han and Credo.
I like Stemma.
Okay.
It's pretty.
Yeah, no, I would agree with all those actually. I like Stemma, I like Han, I like Credo, but I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I think some of my favorite shops are definitely Stemma. That's gonna be one I'm piggybacking off of you. Stemma's fantastic. They have some of the best coffee in the city of Orlando. I think they do presentation, they do preparation, and they actually care about quality more so than most people in the entire state. I think Stemma's doing fantastic. So shout out to you guys. I think another good shop that I really enjoy going to is Deeply. I tell people that every time I'm having like a busy day downtown, or I'm out and about doing things and I'm passing through downtown, I'll even go out of my way. I'll stop by Deeply and have a white tea, sit down, just kind of relax, take a couple minutes to be present, about 35 minutes to be present. I'm busy, so I can't sit there and just sit there all day, or else I would.
Deeply doesn't make you feel like you're in Orlando. The setup of it and the type of environment it is, it seems like it would be in like Chicago or New York. So
Yeah.
It's kind of a different experience.
It's a very European style aesthetic shop. It makes you feel like cool to be in Deeply.
It does.
It makes you feel like you're one of the cool people to be in Deeply. But I think my last favorite shop in Orlando is one that people don't often associate me with, because I'm never recognized there, and that's fine, because I have this small tangent. I have this small thing where I'm always recognized in shops that I go to, and it kind of deters me from going to shops because I get a special treatment everywhere I go, and it kind of feels weird. I don't really know how to feel about it, but I really like going to New General over in Winter Park. If you guys don't know what New General is, I definitely recommend you guys check it out. It's just a pretty cool coffee shop. It's kind of like hidden on Winter Park. It's just off Park Ave. Really cool spot. So I like them. And then my last one, this is number 4. I know. But my last spot that I'm going to suggest that you guys go and check out is, if you guys haven't been there, the end period, you have to go to XO Coffee and Tattoo. These people are sick. They have a tattoo studio inside the coffee shop. My other question from Dylan, my friend, longtime friend, he says, why don't coffee shops fuck with iced coffee? And I'm going to answer that, because to you, iced coffee is the same thing. I'm talking about Madeline.
He's pointing at me.
Not the general public. Iced coffee is different than cold brew, okay? Cold brew is cold brew. You brew that bitch cold for like 24, 15, something hours. Iced coffee, man, that is the working class man's delight. That is hot coffee poured over ice. And
Landon's guilty pleasure is iced coffee from
shit
Starbucks with some milk and
hits,
shuggies while we're on vacation.
Not even Starbucks. Like I could go to fucking Wawa.
Yeah, that's true. You do get an iced latte from Wawa when you want a little sweet treat.
Oh my god! Just hit me with like 3 pumps of simple syrup and a 24-ounce fucking iced coffee with like a little bit of that oat milk, and I'm set.
It's right up there with hotel coffee for you.
This will answer a question that we don't even need to really go into. Matthew Adamira, our good friend, asks, does your wife still buy Starbucks? Hell yeah, she buys at Starbucks.
I have yet to find a chai that competes with Starbucks. If you are a coffee shop out there and you believe you have a chai that can compete with Starbucks, I will come try.
Yeah, give me a motherfucking message. You got that good chai. Plug me in.
I need to know if you have that good chai.
What also bothers me is, Starbucks just gives me a fucking cup full of ice, bro. Like, they give me nothing but ice every time I get a drink. That's why we're on a cruise and we got the Starbucks package. Yeah, I pay for the Starbucks package. It's $45 fucking.
If you're not on a cruise not buying the Starbucks package, you're missing out.
It's $45 and
for unlimited Starbucks.
Brother, I get like 15 drinks a day, and they aren't even coffee half the time. Some of them are chai, some of them are matcha, some of them are coffee, some of them are
Those refreshers?
Bruh. Iced tea refresher, goddamn. Our other good friend Matthew, or I guess the same good friend Matthew, is asking us what consumers don't understand about coffee. Anyone that says they understand coffee, you don't understand coffee. Because I have been in coffee for a minute. I know people way deeper in coffee than I am. And we feel like we don't know shit. So, like, if you feel like you know your thing about coffee and, like, you know what's up, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you on the Unfiltered Coffee Podcast. You don't, brother. Or madame.
Another quote from my mama. No one knows what they're actually doing.
I got another question. It says, what makes a good coffee? For me, what makes a good coffee is something that's repeatable, right? Something that's easy to drink, something that's not insanely difficult for me to sit there and make a cup and say, wow, I can't wait to have that later, tomorrow, the next day, blah, blah, blah. It's also a good coffee if someone that claims they don't know anything about coffee, like someone that actually doesn't know anything about coffee at all.
Me!
I mean, beyond that. I mean, someone that goes to the grocery store and buys, like, Lavazza, for example. Like, they buy, like, Lavazza coffee and they think that is their perfect cup of joe. That's fine. If a good coffee to that person is the same as a good coffee to someone like Scott Rao, who is a world-renowned coffee roaster and a Q grader, I think it'd be really cool to see, you know, the common ground, right? That for me makes a good coffee. What makes a bad coffee is if I have a coffee that's so wild I can only have one cup of it every week before I get tired of it, or my tummy hurts, or anything in between.
We go through a lot of Tums in our household.
I go through literally like 3 Tums a day, and I'm not even capping, bro. I get like 3 Tums a day, because that shit saves my life. Let's go on to the non-coffee questions, and we'll go back to kind of just BS.
Hey, I'll say something about coffee. As someone who doesn't drink it and doesn't like it, I can smell the difference between coffees.
Good.
Like, like the coffee at a diner compared to going to an actual coffee shop, or, they do smell different, and I can tell, and visually how dark the coffee is.
Yes, there are definitely ways for you to deter different ways of smelling and tasting coffee and all that good stuff. I'm glad you, my wife, who's been around so many coffees in your entire life at this point, can tell when a coffee smells like fruit and when a coffee smells like chocolate.
I have gotten at least to that point.
I am so proud of you.
You are correct.
Next, you'll be drinking frappuccinos at Starbucks.
Don't push your luck.
So the most important question for this entire podcast, honestly, comes down to this one right here. Red Bull versus sugar-free Red Bull. I'm not going to lie to you. I like energy drinks, okay? And that's fine.
Hold on. By likes, energy drinks.
I fucking kill that shit, dude.
This man
I kill that shit.
Consumes so many energy drinks.
It's my guilty pleasure. Like, when I'm trying to get, like...
He actually likes how they taste.
Oh my god. There's something to be said about the chemically engineered, non-biodegradable, pure, unnatural flavor of an energy. Like, that is bliss to me. It's like having a cigarette. Like, for the love of God, just give me a sugar-free Red Bull. And that's my stance. If you like regular Red Bull, that's cool. You're just wrong, because sugar-free Red Bull is significantly better.
But what is the most superior Red Bull to you?
The zero sugar Red Bull. That's the black one, dude. That one is incredibly good. I think that is probably the best flavored energy drink that Red Bull has to offer. White Monster is superior to everything. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. That stuff tastes like candy. Madeline, I had you taste one the other day, and
it does.
It tastes like candy.
I don't like energy drinks. They make me anxious, but it does taste like candy. Landon loves energy drinks, specifically White Monster, so much that pretty much anytime I stop at a gas station and he's not with me, I just grab one.
And I drink it in like 45 seconds.
And bring it home to him.
No lie, I drink it in 45 fucking seconds.
Landon has this incredible talent to drink a liquid so fast.
I don't care if it's hot.
Versus I am a sipper. I will be sipping on something for hours.
No.
We're complete opposites.
If it's sitting on my table for longer than 5 minutes, I fucked up. Like, it has to be gone.
You're giving yourself too much credit for 5 minutes.
No, I'm saying even if the thing is like scorching hot and I'm burning myself in the mouth to drink it, like, I don't care. It's my mission in life in that moment to get rid of that drink as fast as humanly, physically possible.
We live approximately, 3 minutes from a Wawa? 4?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I'll take
the
an
drink
hour.
doesn't even make it.
Brother, it doesn't
home.
make it out the parking lot. What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
I get a 24-ounce iced coffee. Going back to that, shout out Wawa iced coffee. I get a 24-ounce iced coffee, and that bitch is gone before I even leave the parking lot. Like, I'm at the light, and I'm shaking the ice at the bottom of the cup.
This is absolutely true.
My wife looks me in the eyes and said, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And I don't have an answer.
It truly is.
It's just beautiful the way that caffeine hits the brain, dude.
I just think it's a pure talent of how fast you can consume liquid.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, another question that we got, it comes from our friend Key. He says, "What video games are we playing?" Madeline, let's talk video games. What video games you be playing?
What video games am I playing right now?
Yeah, this shit's good.
I am always playing Stardew. I go in rhythms of it, playing it.
Mm-hmm. You be farming some crops, I see you.
I love me a little cozy game.
It's like literally like Minecraft, but like less Minecraft, if that makes sense. Because Minecraft overwhelms you.
There's too
many options.
Stardew is the bomb D.
Okay, and then you play My Sims.
My Sims. I only am playing it because it was the game that was out on the Wii that I had growing up. So a little nostalgia. When I saw it got revamped for the Switch, I was like, oh my god, I loved playing this game in middle school. Fun fact, I still love playing it as a 26-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, that game's kind of ass, no lie, but like, I'm glad you have fun playing it.
Something about just like some simple-minded, like, complete the tasks, build the house. I enjoy that.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, if you like playing, like, I don't know, Work Simulator, that'd be cool. But
they're like little. They're so.
They're like
cute.
little Bitmojis. You're playing motherfucking Bitmojis,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, like Snap Maps. You know, Snapchat has games now. You can just play a Snapchat game.
I don't know. I deleted Snapchat back in like 2018, so.
Oh, okay. We got a Snapchat hipster over here.
I.
Got a Snapchat hipster. Okay, what else you be playing though?
What else do I be?
We be playing a lot of fucking what's that shit called? Pokemon trading card game live.
We do play a lot of Pokemon.
Oh
card games.
my god!
Landon
if you want
is a
the
lot
smoke,
better at it than I
if you want the
am.
smoke, you idiot, come get it. Add me on the PCTGL app on your laptop. Add me. I will absolutely slam dunk on you like fucking Vince Carter in 2006, bro.
I wish you could pull up the hours that you've put into that game right now.
The hours?
Yeah.
I think the matches speak for themselves. Brother, I have played 4,500 matches.
He's currently nationally ranked.
I am nationally ranked in this bitch. Okay? You think you're good at Pokemon cards because you play the little phone game? That's cute. You ain't got to use no energy. You ain't got to use no motherfucking supporter cards. Oh, you guys Pokemon, bro. Nah. You want to play a game? Come get smoked on, and I'll cut any amount of time you want to play me. I'll run that shit back. I will repeat, embarrass you on whatever terms conditions you want. I'll play you with a deck that doesn't even use no attacks, bro.
This is true.
It's embarrassing.
He spends a long time planning out his decks. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, you know, building a deck in Pokemon trading card game is kind of like the Romans building, well, Rome. It's strategical, and like ultimately I'm a one-man army. Like I figure out my decks myself. I don't use no bullshit internet to tell me that, you know, this is the best deck.
He gets very mad at the internet decks.
Jesus Christ, dude! When the people come at me with like a Charizard with like a fucking like a Pidgeot that can just pick whatever card in the deck they want. I played that deck probably 300 times in the past like 2 months, and I'm sick of it, bro.
Where's the originality?
Give me some classical Pokemon trading card decks, bro. I don't want to see the internet deck. I can Google the best decks in the game. I don't need you to do it. I want to play an original deck. Guess what? You won't do it. 'Cause you're scared.
What's another game? I feel like I play a lot of, like, cozy games that don't really, like... I mean, I like all the Pokemon games when they come out.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Not
Pokemon game, not the Pokemon
character. I mean, Platinum, hands down. It's because it's a nostalgia thing for me. I didn't play Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald by myself.
You play Red and Blue?
It was too hard. No, that was
Brother.
Before. I didn't play those 3 by myself. They were too hard for me. I watched my brother play them. Diamond and Pearl was the first game that I was able to, like, successfully play by myself. And then Platinum came out, and it just felt like Platinum was the better of that series.
I'm gonna appeal to a lot of you right now. My favorite Pokemon game is by far Pokemon Gold. Not Heart Gold, but Pokemon Gold. That game is bliss. Like, it is so sublime. Like, you get Generation 1 Pokemon and Generation 2 Pokemon, and you get to fight Ash at the end of... Bruh, come on, man! That
Spoilers alert!
Nah, everyone knows that. This game's been out for like 20 fucking years. Beyond 20 years. It came out in like 1999. It's beyond 20 years at this point, so we're good. I'm just saying, if you could pick 3 Pokemon...
Oh, God.
Right here, for the internet to hear, what 3 Pokemon would you pick? No legendaries, because that shit's bullshit. That's cheating.
What is... see...
No one-of-a-kind Pokemon
I
in the
know,
game.
but my thought...
Like, no Rotom.
It's too complex for this.
Oh, my God.
Are you talking about these Pokemon just to, like, live my life with? Or to battle? Because...
Dog, I'm telling you, you get to pick 3 mythical creatures to do whatever the fuck you feel like doing. Like, battling, living, fucking farming. I don't care. Like, you get 3 Pokemon to help you in any situation.
I feel like I would want... If I'm, like, thinking about life.
I think about life often.
If I think about life, I think I'd want, like, Pidgeotto or Staraptor. Something that I could fly on.
Brother,
Dragonair.
If y'all can see the look on my face right now, dog, come on. Dragonair's cool.
I do have to say, if I had to, like, only pick to be one type of trainer,
You'd be a bird Pokemon.
I'd be a bird Pokemon
Jesus
trainer.
Christ, dude.
I love them. I like their aesthetic.
You like their vibe.
I like the vibe.
You like their aura.
Uh-huh.
What Pokemon?
I know. I was just about to say that.
Name 3. 3, 2, 1.
I feel like Alakazam would be very helpful to have in life.
Yeah, you got the spoon.
You got the spoon and teleport.
Abra got teleport.
Just don't teach it any other move. It'll keep teleport.
The silence is loud right now.
Teleporting would be awesome.
Okay, you got Alakazam. You say Dragonair?
Dragonair.
And then who else? Jesus Christ, dude. It's like asking someone, like, what are the 3 limbs
And there's
of
like
their body?
1,000 of them to pick from.
Yeah, bro, it should be easy. You don't think about this every day? I'm telling you right now, when I drive to and from anywhere, I'm like, God damn, I would love to have a Starmie. I would love to have me a Cloyster. And I would love to have me... Y'all gonna hate me for this one. Ditto, dude. I could be any Pokemon. I'd be thinking about Pokemon every second of the day. Pokemon for me is like the greatest thing in the world. And I've seen so many reels online of people saying, you know, what's a red flag in a man? What's a red flag in a woman? They say Pokemon. And I said, that is cap. Pokemon it teaches you loyalty. Because you teach me, I teach you.
So my third Pokemon would probably be something like a Lapras or a water Pokemon.
Yeah, Lapras is crazy.
I feel like that would be very beneficial to life.
Yeah, but a Cloyster is crazy too. He's water and ice type. And Homeboy swims backwards.
That's true.
Yeah. So.
Not the way you expect.
So, yeah, I mean, you'd be playing a lot of that. We'd be playing a lot of Pokemon cards.
Also, shout out to Skyrim. Every now and then I get the itch to
the Bethesda games do
to
not
play
lie.
Skyrim
Like,
again.
Bethesda games are some of the most god-awful trash I've ever bared witness to in my entire life of playing video games. I played a lot of games. And, yes, there's something about Skyrim.
Something about Skyrim.
Or Oblivion.
That soundtrack.
The soundtrack is great.
It's great.
It's fantastic. It's some of the best work I've ever seen. The music is fantastic.
Need some music to work to go to bed to. Skyrim.
It's truly ahead of its time, but like the gameplay is so unbearable sometimes because I'll be walking and I'll just see like a giant clip through the ground and shoot up through the sky, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then like 3 hours later, it'll come falling down right in front
What's
of me.
my favorite tactic of traveling in Skyrim?
Beelining. You put a custom marker and you just walk in that direction.
I just walk straight. There's a mountain, don't matter. I'm just gonna walk straight up that mountain. Doesn't make any sense. Actually, you jump up the mountain.
You press Y like a million times and you hop up that mountain. Yeah, so for me, like, the games I've been playing recently, I've been playing Fallout 76. It's another Bethesda game. That game is so bad. Like, that, I think that is, I love horrible games because for whatever reason, I derive joy from playing shitty games and just watching how bad they are.
Our Wi-Fi works really hard on that game.
I have to restart the computer every time I want to play that game and then wait for the Wi-Fi to reboot after I reset the router so I can play in maybe an hour before the game crashes and I have to do it again. Like, it's not my computer, bro. It is straight up, that game is garbage. That game is terrible. I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet recently, or excuse me, it's Pokemon Violet.
We own Violet, thank you.
We own Violet, because Scarlet motherfuckers ain't right. I'm gonna say that right now.
Purple better.
If you like the ancient Pokemon, man, ancient Pokemon be Generation 1, okay? That's as far back as it should go. Future Pokemon, that's what's up, bro. Get the Iron Thorns, get the, you know, Iron Leaves, all that. That's cool. I hate that game. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are actually trash. Like, it looks and runs like absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Its draw distance is like maybe like 50 pixels away from where you are before shit just stops working. Or even if you're in the same room with some people, like in the classroom when you're just like starting the game, the kid's legs are moving at like, I don't know, 5 frames a second. It looks terrible.
It's terrible.
It looks so bad, and it makes my eyes hurt. Like,
I feel like whenever you play it, if I'm in the living room, like, hanging out with you or, like, working on a craft, I feel like we laugh at it a minimum of 5 times during that session.
It's brutal.
Just about whatever is going on that's so horrible.
Alright, fuck video games.
I feel like we need to take an ASMR break for this Maple who's snoring.
I'm not listening to the Maple snoring, bro. Can't hear it.
Oh no, you can't hear the Maple snores? Oh.
Key also asks, what anime have we been watching / what is our favorite anime?
Attack on Titan.
I'm split because like the first like 3 seasons are great.
I feel like more people who are not into anime need to watch Attack on Titan to understand the depth of what that show is about and its comparison to humans today.
This is coming from the woman that I started dating, and when I moved to Florida, I put on Dragon Ball. Not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball the original, and I'm watching it in Japanese, as a man should. And she comes home and starts fucking...
We were watching Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah, but I was watching Dragon Ball first, and then you made fun of me for watching Dragon Ball. You said,
oh, yes.
You watching those Japanese cartoons? And I said, fuck you.
I did make fun of you first, yes.
I said, fuck you. And I said, I'm a grown man, I'm gonna watch Japanese cartoons. And then I put on Naruto next after I finished Dragon Ball, and you had nothing to say other than, will you put it in English so I can watch it? And I said, hell no, I ain't putting that bitch in English. You're gonna come over here and watch the shit in Japanese, and you're gonna sit down, you're gonna sit your white ass down and listen.
And that happened right before COVID, so then COVID happened, and...
We watched all 685 episodes of Naruto in like 2 months. It was brutal, bro. So another good anime that I really like, if you guys know me, I love Cowboy Bebop. Like, that is probably the best anime probably ever created. And I'm so excited for Lazarus to come out, and it says 2025 all over the internet. It doesn't say date, but like, that show is gonna be great. If you guys don't know what Cowboy Bebop is, check it out. Lazarus is like cyberpunk. This is from the same creators of Cowboy Bebop. Fantastic movie, or TV show. Another good anime that I really like, unpopular to most, I like Death Note.
It was really good.
I like
people
Death Note
don't
a
like
lot.
it?
People hate it. People hate
Really?
it. People hate that shit.
I thought it was really good.
People don't like, I also like watching like Pokemon. Like the TV, it goes back to Pokemon, bro. Like my life is just Pokemon. Like Pokemon TV show is like all I used to watch with my grandma growing up.
What to get later? Something Pokemon.
Yeah, get me a Pokemon. I don't want something Pokemon related. Give me a Pokemon. Give me like a Ditto. Give me like a real life little blob of just Ditto. Just like,
also big fan of Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer is great.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen's great. I'm gonna one up you on this one. Chainsaw.
Yes. Very
Chainsaw
much
Man.
waiting for more Chainsaw Man.
Oh, So, chef's kiss. I love anime. I have not watched it in quite a while, though. I would like to get back into it. It's just a time thing.
See, one of the issues when we watch TV is I'm a binger. Like, I want to sit down and couch rot for an entire, 16 hours.
And I get anxious as fuck.
And
so
Landon's like, let's watch one episode and then do something else.
Because I get anxious.
And it makes me so mad because, I need to know what happens. Let's just continue.
Sitting down and watching TV makes me
watching.
So anxious, dude. I can't just sit there and watch or enjoy, a movie. I used to watch movies with my dad all the time, growing up, and every time there's a Christmas break or a spring break or whatever, my dad and I would probably go see 5-6 movies. But I'm trying to watch a movie now, and 40 minutes in, I'm like, God damn, this thing's still on. My attention span is terrible. I'm a true Gen Z. I had to have a TV on in the background. I mean, shit, the TV's on right now. While we're on a podcast, while I got neon LED lights making rainbow colors in the room. While I'm looking at my phone for
God,
these questions on Instagram.
our elderly neighbors must hate us.
I really don't care. Yeah, if you guys don't know and you guys have never been to our place, I mean, most of you listening probably never have. We live in a retirement community, so I don't know how the hell we got in here, but it's pretty much predominantly old people, and every time I interact with one of them, they have nothing but nasty shit to say to me. I'm like, hey, how are you? Good. And I'm like, okay.
Literally how they all sound.
Okay.
One time, one of our neighbors, I have, if you don't know me, I have naturally curly hair. If you have naturally curly hair, you know that if you are having a bad hair day, it's just not going down. She saw me one time with my hair down, and it was all curly, and she literally, it looks so nice down. I don't know why you don't have it down more. I can't believe you put it up. And I was like, I'm just gonna...
Those are all the questions. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk about, Madeline, why we do what we do with CUPA, right? What is a good reason that... Yeah, we...
And if you can't see right now, that's me making the meme of the Bugs Bunny going
communist meme. Yeah, our business.
Correct.
Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, behind the scenes, I do pretty much everything myself. If I do something, I accredit them online for, for example, Sticker Print Go. Shout out Sticker Print Go. They do my labels. They did my label design, and some stuff like that. But, I predominantly do most everything myself.
I fill a bag occasionally.
No, you label
until
a bag.
you tell me I'm not doing it right or fast enough, and then I say, okay, you do it yourself.
It made me sound terrible. I'm just saying,
I think it's more you just think I'm too slow.
I just say, I can do it faster and better.
Correct.
So, no, you label really good, and you put the dates on things really well.
I got nice handwriting.
You do. My handwriting looks like I'm writing with my left hand, and I'm blind.
Yeah.
And I'm not left-handed.
It's chicken scratch.
It's pretty brutal. Yeah. So I don't know. I do the things that I do with CUPA just because I like putting people on. I like working on other businesses, and I like being my own boss, predominantly. But I also really love coffee, and I'm really passionate about what I do, and I really like, being able to build with the local community and really hanging out with cool people in the industry. I feel like everybody in the industry that I've met that either works in it or owns a business within it is super plugged in, really mindful of what they're doing, and ultimately just really cool people. And I'm really grateful that I chose to do this in my life, because ultimately there's days where I want to give up and I want to quit, and I hate it, but I hate everything else a lot more, and I feel like I would not have a great time being a banker or a broker I would want it to be when I was in college.
I'm a corporate sellout, what can I say?
No, you're not. I mean, it's different, right? Because if we didn't have employees and people that wanted to do secure things and have a stable future and stuff like that, we wouldn't have people like myself who are idiots and want to risk everything.
Someone's got to get us
seeds.
Insurance.
Yeah, insurance is great. I mean, stable income is nice, but at the end of the day, I'm just playing with coffee seeds that people call beans all day.
I also give you credit. I couldn't do it. The fact that when you get, quote, paid, unquote, and you have to take that, and then you obviously have to reinvest back into the business, and you have to do all of that thinking, I just get my paycheck and go, hee 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 hee, I got paid, and yes, some of it goes towards bills, but I don't have to think about that, and my paycheck is the exact same.
I would say probably a solid 80-85% of my paycheck is going to bills, inventory or shit like that. I mean, it's pretty brutal. And when you're not making a lot of money, that 15% money in the beginning was not great, and now that we're kind of more of an established business, we're doing more, we're providing more products, we're getting more merch, we're buying cooler coffees, and we're kind of taking more risks because we're in a more comfortable place where we can do that kind of thing. And I feel like it's all a trade-off, right? Like, you can't just want to be an entrepreneur. You have to have this inside urge and this flame under your ass to really want to do it and need to do it. It's like an itch that you can never quite scratch. And one of my biggest faults with being an entrepreneur is something called instant gratification. I am awful at that. So I literally will do something and immediately be like, well, I don't care. It's about damn time I accomplish my goal, instead of actually, feeling a sense of accomplishment or reward or anything like that. A big part of what I do is just kind of brush it off. And I'm like, well, it's time that I get on to the next thing, and go make myself better, be better at the things that I really want to be. Because I'm impatient, and I really want to be the person that I want to be, and I want to see the person that I become. And ultimately, I don't got a lot of time. I'm busy, and I want to be the best version of myself that I possibly can be tomorrow, even though I know that's physically impossible. Rome wasn't built in a day, so we have to kind of just take it step by step. And if you guys are an entrepreneur listening to this, and you guys also resonate with that, I mean, you guys know better than anyone else. It takes a lot to want to get up every day and make it happen. So, I mean, everyone hates on hustle culture and blah blah blah, but ultimately, people that hate on hustle culture have never really had to be in that situation.
Damn, why are you calling me out?
I'm not, but ultimately, if you feel attacked, I mean, it's partially true if you're listening, because if you hate on hustle culture and you don't like stuff like that, you've never really been in the position to be able to say, that's bullshit, because everyone that does hustle, or everyone that does grind really, really hard and put in a bunch of work, it's not just because we're crazy, it's because we really like what we do. We want to see the reward of what we do.
I mean, absolutely, and I give you credit for that, and I 100% am someone who is very, let's dismantle the hustle culture. But I also believe that, I am that way because I am a corporate sellout, and I do my cozy 8 to 4:30 job, and I, make a paycheck, and I come home, and I just do my work, and come home and don't really think about it. I don't have to think about what the next day is, or what I need to do, or, I have an assistant for stuff. Man, if I need stamps, I just tell her to go buy me stamps, and they're on my desk the next day, so...
Nah, if I need some shit, I gotta get my ass in the truck.
Correct, and so, as someone who, but I do have to say, as someone who is very anti-hustle culture, I try my best to try to get you to calm down every now and then, aka let's go on a vacation and plan said vacation. And usually on the first day of the vacation, you're like, wow, this is really nice, I really needed this, we should go on vacation more. That was the words he said on our last vacation. We should go on vacations more. And I said, don't need to ask me twice.
Yeah, I mean, I really would love to. It's just I get so anxious on day 4 or 5 of vacations. I just want to go home and go back to work. Because let's be real, if you guys are a retail-based company, or any company in general, that do you guys have partnerships with people, or customer bases, or wholesale partners, or anything like that? But we're gonna keep going, because Rome is actually bringing us into the next question. Is Rome asked us, what's it like, or how do you deal with work-related stress? And I'll let you go first, Madeline, because I have a lot to say.
Me? I feel like the type of how I can deal with work-related stress is a lot different than anyone who's a business owner, because at the end of the day, I get to close my laptop and walk away from it, or walk away from my office, so I get that time. Now, absolutely, I have been in a job where the stress has followed me home, and you call that friend and you vent about it. I've had those jobs where it definitely carries home. I'm lucky now that I don't have a job that's quite as much like that as much. I can just totally walk away from it at the end of the day. I feel like I can deal with stress by just trying to unplug. I'm someone, when I'm stressed, that maybe I just want to spend an evening watching a movie or reading a book and completely unplugging the best that I can. Or, I feel like when I get stressed, I kind of shut down. So a lot of times I have to like take the time to do those things, or else I just kind of freeze in the moment. But that's kind of my biggest thing is just, you know, I'm a very firm believer that like whatever the stress is, at the end of the day, everything will work itself out in one way or another. It might not be the way that you want it to, but it will get there. So just go with the flow and
Yeah, I mean,
do what you can. Talk to the people that can help you.
it's good to talk, right? Like, in my situation, like, whenever I'm so stressed out, like, I do one of two things. I'll either, you know, go to sleep. Yeah, I mean, have sleep for dinner. I mean, you can't be sad when you're asleep unless you have dreams about money. That shit's terrible.
Wake up in a sweat.
Yeah, so, I mean, ultimately, like, how to deal with work-related stress, there's not really, like, a right or wrong answer for everybody. Everyone's unique, everyone's different. Like, what I like to do to relax is I like trying to play a video game. Like, I like trying to play a game. I like trying to just hang out with my wife or, like, my cats, or going to do something, or getting out of the house, or going for a walk. Or
Walks are good for you.
Walks are great. I would say substance abuse is not the answer. If you guys are out there and you guys are listening to this, you guys are very stressed, I would argue that, like, maybe don't smoke a bunch of weed or, like, you know, drink a bunch, because it doesn't really help solve your problems. It's only gonna make them worse, and you're gonna feel like shit after you come down from that, and you're gonna be like, wow, I just wasted time and money, and my mental health is now worse than what it was before. So yeah, don't do that. So maybe find a healthy outlet, like playing a game, or
A cozy craft.
a cozy craft, or, you know, for me, doing some work, boy. So yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. I feel like everyone's different, and I feel like it just depends on, like, who you are. So Madeline, I'm gonna ask you a serious question here. Why don't you like coffee?
Tastes gross. I know, like, you always say good coffee shouldn't be bitter.
No.
I truly don't like the taste. Like, I understand the multiple times you've said to me, like, oh, try it with some cream and sugar. Like, I'm not joking. I get very sad when I go to Starbucks and I order a Frappuccino, which isn't as often anymore. But when I used to order Frappuccinos and they would put coffee in it and I didn't ask for it because I literally couldn't drink it. I don't like how it tastes at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's an acquired taste. It's kind of like drinking beer, or like having, like...
What do I not like?
I mean, you don't like beer. But my whole point is it's an acquired taste. You have to drink more of it to, like, actually enjoy it.
I just
like,
think there's
like when you're,
some
I don't know,
tastier options.
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all listening. Like, when you're a young man, you're like, hell yeah, I want a beer, and that shit tastes like fucking socks covered in piss and sweat. Like, you're like, this is good, even though it sucks. And, like, you just power through it, because what are you gonna do, dump it?
Drink a fruity drink instead. They're way better.
No! If you want a beer, you want a beer. That's some real shit. But, like, honestly, it is an acquired taste. And, like, going back to coffee, like, if you don't like coffee out there and you're kind of curious about it, I think a good way to start is, like, by trying things that are a little bit less intense. Like, not, like, don't drink an espresso, obviously, but, like, maybe try, like, a latte with, like, some little cream and sugar or something. So, yeah. So, I mean, for me, like, why I like coffee is because I don't know. It kind of, like, connects you, right? Like, it's got, like, a whole story. It kind of, like, gives you a lot of, like, perspective on, like, what you're drinking.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Why do you like crappy coffee then?
Oh, boy. I love crappy coffee because crappy coffee connects me more to the good stuff, because I can appreciate a mid-ass fucked up cup of coffee, and I can appreciate the good stuff, and I don't really need to worry about my palate because I know what's good and bad. And if I have a shitty coffee from, like, a hotel, it's on, like, a frac pack, and I run that thing through the not Keurig that they have in every hotel.
With the powdered milk?
Yeah, with the powdered milk and shit like that. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about, guys. Like, that...
I want to cut in for a moment just to call Landon out, and he's giving me a look right now. When we go on vacation or we stay at a hotel, we sometimes request housekeeping, not for the actual cleaning, but because Landon wants more coffee in the room.
I usually have, like, 6 or 7 cups of coffee.
Or he'll go down to the front desk and ask for more coffee. the amount of crappy hotel coffee he consumes is...
Yeah, and the sweet old ladies that like work at the front desk and shit look at me like, oh, you want like 1 or 2? And I'm like, nah, can I get like 10? And they're like, oh, okay.
Like, there's one thing that I am positive is going to happen when we're on vacation. It's getting back to the hotel room. Landon's going to make himself a cup of coffee, and we're going to watch Shark Tank.
I'm going to watch a shit ton of Shark Tank, and I'm going to have about 4 or 5 cups of coffee and go straight to bed.
Yep.
But I cannot do that with regular specialty grade coffee. If I have a good coffee and the caffeine content is like rolling, I'm up. Like, I am up for like the next like 6-7 hours. I can do like maybe 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day. But like when I'm on vacation, dude, like that shitty coffee, it does not hit the same. Like it tastes like rubber and like mud, oil.
Looks like it too.
It's just black as the night sky. Like, it is fucking gross. You can smell it from like in the bathroom with the door closed. Like, it's pretty brutal. It's like gasoline. Like, you can smell like 1 ppm in the air.
Landon actually gets sad when we stay at a hotel room and it doesn't have a coffee maker.
I get a little upset because I'm like, listen, I feel like I'm cheated, right? Like, I paid you all this money to sit there in a hotel room where I'm trying to get wired and just feel anxious for no reason. And I can't do that when there's no coffee maker.
Yeah.
There's a community coffee thing, and I'm like, I know for a fact, first of all, I'm going to preface this real quick. I know none of these coffee makers ever get cleaned. So I'm drinking scale. I'm drinking like fucking hard scale. That's cool. I know I'm getting into it. Like, if I go to like the lobby, I know damn well that thing has not been touched with an ounce of cleaner in probably as long as I've been alive.
It's been rinsed with some warm water.
Yeah, and that's about it. And like, that's cool with me, but like, I don't want the lobby coffee. I want my own coffee. Privacy in my room. It's cool because like every coffee is different. Every coffee is unique, and like you ultimately get to like see and experience that for yourself. And it's like a ritual, right? Like if you wake up every day and like you make your own coffee, like as a pour over or as espresso or as like a batch brew or like whatever, however you make it, like it's part of your day. Like it's big. That's like a routine thing that you do. It's a ritual, and like it's important that you keep doing that because it gives you some consistency in your life, and it's something you can control. In this fucked up world, you can't control anything.
I have another question.
Yes, hit me.
If you could pick any city in the world to spend a day cafe hopping, where would you want to go?
That's a tough one. Any city in the world.
Any city in the world.
Wouldn't be in America. Honestly, it'd either be in like Colombia, the Netherlands, or like Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some pretty cool stuff.
Is it more about like the actual coffee they're serving or the cafe culture?
I think it's a little bit of both because like the Europeans have coffee kind of figured out to a T. Like the coffee culture over there is fantastic, and the cafe like the bar culture over there is great. And a lot of the places that are over there that do coffee are also bakeries, like La Cabra. Like we went to that one place in New York, and they were literally sold out of coffee that day.
I love a good bakery.
The bakeries are great, and like if you can do a good pastry, then you're doing everything else really well, presumptuously.
I will judge you on your croissant.
Right, and like that's the thing is like I feel like if you're doing pastries and coffee really really well, I feel like then. Listen, the places that I named are serving people, not serving coffee. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
They do bar culture better than anything.
Got it.
So, I mean, I could have the world's worst cup of coffee in the world, and I personally would be indifferent about it. Or I could have the best cup of coffee in the world, and I wouldn't know any different until I had a bunch of other stuff that wasn't living up to the standard. But if someone, like, goes out of their way to, like, talk to me and, like, give me a good experience, and, like, everything there is just pretty, and, like, I feel invited and, like, welcome there, that's where I want to be.
So you would prefer... So if you went to a cafe that had terrible customer service, wanted to get you in and out the door, but you took a sip of the coffee and it was the best tasting coffee you've ever had, or you walked into a cafe that had great vibes, great customer service, and the coffee was mid, what place would you rather go back to?
The mid. Me personally, I like the mid. I mean, I like fucked up coffee, dude. Like, I like the stuff that, like, most people are like, yeah, let's put some hair on your chest. And, like, I don't know. Like I like a little bit of everything. Like I'm not partial to either. Like personally, like I feel like people that know they have the best coffee are kind of just like assholes. A little bit, but like they feel entitled to have this like opinion, like, oh, I'm the best, and like to an extent you're allowed to feel that way, but like also,
Customer service.
bro, chill out. Like you're serving coffee. Like put the beans in the bag, brother. So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If you went to a place in Europe and you had a chance, or Europe or wherever, and you had a chance to, like, let's say you liked tea, because I know you don't. But like, let's say
I like some.
Okay, let's say you had a good tea shop experience.
Okay.
Where would you like to go? Would you like to go to a place with like good vibes, good tea, good culture, good people? Like what for you built, like as a non-coffee heavy consumer, what for you is like a good selling point? Like do you want to go to like hang out with friends and build memories, or do you want to go there for a place to like be left alone and like have this good comforting environment? Like what is it for you?
I think a comforting environment can go both ways.
Okay.
Sometimes there's cafes that like it's so quiet that like it makes it awkward to talk.
Right.
Like as someone who travels for work often, if I go to a cafe and I'm meeting someone there and I feel like we're the loudest people there, I feel so awkward.
Right.
So I want somewhere that's comfy, that I can have a conversation at a normal, talking level, not shouting, but also isn't too loud that if I wanted to, okay, after that person leaves, I want to put my headphones in and get some work done, like I can block.
So it is the environment.
The environment, yes, I would say that. I also, ample seating and seating options are very important to me. And I would say the products, I mean, as someone who doesn't drink coffee, I do get a little sad when I go to like coffee shops that don't have a lot of non-coffee options. I mean, like, I'm not opposed to like getting a bottled beverage and just buying that and sitting
Right,
down.
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I do appreciate the cafes that do take the extra step to do some non-caffeine.
You know who does that really well in
coffee
Orlando?
options? Who?
Han does that fantastic.
I love a good, like, I mean, obviously I love chai lattes, but like I love a good like Italian soda, or if they have like a specialty lemonade.
No, I'm talking about like even when like I go into Han and like I'm talking to whoever behind the bar, or I'm just there like by myself and I've had enough coffee for the day, I can go up and grab me a nice Korean peach soda.
Yeah, or
And
like
it's great.
things like that. If they have other options, sometimes there's just nothing more awkward than when I get up to the front and like they don't have anything behind the bar. Like it's only canned drinks or coffee. Like,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of coffee shops kind of bottleneck themselves by not doing more than just coffee.
because I love, I love going to a cafe and sitting and either talking or getting work done. There is something about that environment. But as someone who, A, I don't like coffee, but B, I don't drink anything that has a high amount of caffeine because it makes me hella anxious.
Yeah, coffee is like my worst enemy because it makes me so fucking
Yeah.
anxious. But like at the same time, like I use that as like fuel to keep going. Like I said, I can only have like 2 cups of coffee now. But like when I was a barista, I used to be able to have like upwards of like 10, 15
Yeah,
coffees
you
a
would
day.
literally make yourself like a cup of coffee right before bed. And it's like,
I
don't
would
understand.
come home from coffee and just be shaking and be like just fucked. Like I could not think straight or like even see straight.
I also do care about food options at a cafe.
Oh,
I'm not
100%.
saying you have to have, like, I don't think a good cafe has to have, like, a full kitchen. But I like having, because I go to cafes and, like, I'm okay if you don't have a full kitchen and I'm just munching on, like, a croissant and something else with my drink. Like, that's totally fine, but please have at least something there, and double whammies if it's pretty and actually tastes good and isn't just a bakery item from a bag.
Yeah, I mean that's my thing too. Is like Starbucks 3D fucking printed sandwiches and shit like that. That's awful. Like it's a sorry excuse for anything.
I mean, I love their lemon.
And honestly, like
bread,
I
but-
respect coffee shops like around Orlando specifically that like do their own food food, and like they curate their own menus and stuff like that. Like Credo did a fantastic job of that back in the day. Like they just make their own menu. That's kind of like the place to go for like breakfast and stuff.
I mean, in classic Gen Z millennial, man, I do love me some avocado toast.
Avo toast, bust. Is it
Bussin'.
worth $14 for 2 slices of bread cut in half? Hell.
Am I gonna order it?
Yeah. Every time. But that being said, I will say that like places that do their own food are great, and people that don't do their own food and they kind of like just prepackage their shit or like get like they just kind of half-ass it. It stands out. Like
100%.
that's one thing in coffee too. Like even like service, like if you start half-assing anything, like it does stand out, and like it's not like it's unnoticeable. And like some places that feel like they can just like they can like skimp out on prices and just kind of cut corners like with low quality goods and sell them for a high turnover and high margin. They're like, oh, customers don't know the difference. They just want Starbucks or they just want X, Y, and Z. It's like that's not true. Like you're literally skimping the customer that is paying your bills.
And I'm also more likely, I mean, whether it's locally or I'm visiting a city for work or even just pleasure traveling, I'm more likely to go back to that cafe again because of the product and experience. I mean, I feel like you and I are especially like this, but I do this when I travel by myself for work too. Like, I want to find a couple cafes, but man, as soon as I find that cafe,
the spot
that has the food I want and the drinks I want, you can 100% bet I am going there every single morning for the rest of my trip.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing too. I hate saying this word. We're like foodies, and like I like food, you like food, we like beverages.
Yummy.
Yeah, I mean like anything that's like good, I'm all about it. But like I don't know, like for me it's strange when I go to a place and like it's just the same shit from like Cisco or like from like a big food distributor where like you can just get a fuck ton of X, Y, and Z that I see in every other shop.
Even if you don't make your own food, at least just like try to work with other
companies
within your area that do that item that you're looking for.
That's what I'm saying. Like it seems cheap and like you're skimping out on quality. And like for me, like syrups are a big one. Like if you're going to a shop and like for me, if I'm seeing like a seasonal drink menu, and all I see are just like these like fucking prepackaged, huge manufactured syrups like Monin or like Da Vinci or fucking oh god, what's the it doesn't matter. They're all bottled and like they're all just the same manufactured, made in like a 1 billion gallon fucking vat. Like that's not specialty. Like that's not quality. That's just cheaping out because it's cheaper to do it yourself than it is to have. That's more important to you than to have a cheaper quality product than it is to have actually like a quality product. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's better for the numbers. Even though more people would probably come and support your business if the shit stood out and was actually good than what it is for less people to come for a higher margin.
Again, I will judge you on your croissant.
I'll judge anybody on pretty much damn near anything. And that's why I don't like go to like a lot of shops, is because like I can't turn it off. Is like even when we're on vacation and stuff like this too, like you're like, are there any shops you really want to go to? And I don't typically like want to go to a bunch of shops because I don't want to get expectations really high because I hear a bunch of really good things and I see pictures online, or I see like X, Y, and Z online, or I see like even when we go into the shop and you're like, you only got an espresso or you only got a drip coffee, and I'm like, yeah, because I don't want that bullshit.
I do have to say, I mean, we were talking about this the other week with Azak when he was over.
Shout out Azak.
Yes, of course. That we were talking about when we travel, that like sometimes we go to cities and like there isn't a good cafe scene there.
No.
And I guess I didn't truly know that here in Orlando we do have a good cafe scene. Like, I was pretty surprised when we've been to some larger cities that, you know, you go to good old Apple Maps and you type in coffee shop and really that much doesn't pop up.
No.
Besides, you know, the Dunkin' and the Starbucks. And
yeah, I mean, like when we went to Boston, that was a big one for me. Is like I expected Boston to have a crazy, like we went, but what was that, like 2019, 2020?
2019.
Yeah, we went to Boston 2019, and like I was expecting to have a lot more coffee. And, like the specialty shops there were kind of oof.
If you know any places in Boston, drop them down.
Yeah, if you guys know any shops anywhere around the world, like please let me know. I would love to hear it. Every shop that I have heard has high expectations. I usually go in there. It's just not.
It is the same when we were in Maine. I mean, a cute, adorable town, but none of those coffee shops were.
What was that basement shop that we went to?
For that breakfast sandwich?
No. The one...
Oh, in Portland!
Yeah, that basement coffee
I don't
shop.
know. I don't know how it opened. I don't know how it passed accessibility regulations.
It was like a solid 3 flights of stairs downward into a basement.
In an old
and it was
building.
maybe 200 square feet. And it was cute, but
didn't have a good chai.
it had terrible products. And I can't recommend that anyone really goes to places like those because at the end of the day, why are we supporting mid-quality products? Why are we enabling these people to just do shit jobs and get away with that?
And
they
also,
call themselves specialty in this niche market.
It doesn't, I'm not saying everything has to be done perfectly, of course. However, if you're serving, mid or below mid products, I'd rather just go to Starbucks. I know what I'm getting at Starbucks. It's consistent. I understand whatever people want to say about Starbucks, but it is consistent. When I go there, I know what I'm getting. It tastes the exact same every single time, no matter where in the country I am.
Yeah.
Whether I'm at the Starbucks in the airport, the one down the street, the one in Target, it is the same.
This is the last thing I'll say before we end it. Every coffee does have its place. And every there's shit coffee, there's good coffee, and there's everything in between. And for me, a Starbucks coffee, you have to have that to have the cool stuff, because otherwise there's nothing to compare it to. And Dunkin' or Breckler from Tim Hortons or what's the other one?
I don't know, but man, do I.
Yeah. Donut holes, bro. I swear to God, bro.
The frozen hot chocolate.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But, alright, well, I appreciate you guys for coming to hang out with us for a little bit, chit-chatting and shooting the shit. My name is Landon.
I'm Madeline.
Thanks for coming to hang out with us. We'll catch you guys in the future. Cheers.